Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Tina again, and today I'm hosting a real legend. Maybe some of you who are thinking into going into the world of network marketing have came across with his name, Rob Sperry, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Rob, by the way.
Thanks for having me on, Tina. Excited to be on. We're just across the world from each other. No big deal. Having some fun today.
Exactly. And some of you are maybe new to network marketing or didn't hear about it before, even though I don't believe that, because at some point all of us heard at least that word, or MLM. This is the word that was used before. And Rob is one of the top network marketing coaches out there. And I'm actually interviewing a legend here. So therefore you can see that my tongue is not working properly. And I'm actually getting really, really excited and really, really kind of nervous. So, but I know that we're going to go through that. It's just the resistance, and I have to overcome that, which is, all about who I am and growing during this summit. And what I'm also trying to teach you, it's all about the mindset and everything. So, Rob, thank you for taking your time. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm glad we got it coordinated with different time zones and figure out who's in what time zone. But anytime I can get on and provide value, I know we all have different journeys, and whether network marketing is for you or not for you, the goal is still for me just to shed some light on it, give some value and teach some principles that can help out in all aspects of life.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And thank you for that. And thank you for sharing that. Just, Rob, tell me something. How did you get into the network marketing world in the first place?
I was running a tennis club. I ran a tennis club for 4 years. Prior to that, I played tennis. I played tennis traveling all around the United States. That's what I was. I became a semi-professional tennis player. So I did everything tennis. And as I'm running this tennis club, there's all these highly successful individuals. So I started asking them, hey, what'd you do? How'd you make your money? What'd you do? How'd you make your money? Found one specific individual that became a mentor of mine. He helped me on anything from mindset to finances, but I didn't know he had done network marketing, because at that time he had made so much money, he was retired. So I thought all he did was real estate. So 3 years goes by where I have been to this guy's house so many times, learning from him, advice, and I'm teaching his kids tennis. And then eventually he shows up to my house and he tells me, Rob, he said, I'm coming out of retirement and I'm going and I'm doing network marketing and I'm all in again. And I didn't even know this guy had done network marketing. And I thought, no, that's not for me. You got to convince people to do things they don't want to do. I don't want to annoy my friends and family. It's not my style. It's not my personality. He said, that's not how you do it. He said, that's the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it, and, to make a long story short, is here's providing value. He said, you love network marketing. He said, I hate network marketing. I've said no to 11 companies. He said, no, you don't. So we're, having this discussion back and forth. And he said, well, think about this. If you've got great products, you've got some friends and family that are involved, you believe in the company, and you're making a residual income that enables you to have time freedom to be able to do whatever is valuable to you, more family vacations. Do you love it? I'm like, yeah, that's different. He's like, yeah, that is different. That's network marketing done right. And he said, it's not going to be easy. It'll be maybe one of the hardest things you've ever done, but everything worthwhile is hard. Everything. It's not just network marketing. So I thought about it, and eventually I said yes. But even when you say yes, I don't think it's really yes yet. It's yes, I'll try. There's a difference between trying and doing. And that was just over 11 years ago. And then I got involved, and first couple of days, I pretty much did nothing. And then my mentor called me out and said, are we going to do this or not? And I just went all out. And mainly I went all out because I decided if I was going to do it, I was really scared of failing. So I just went all out. I wasn't good at presenting. I couldn't speak in front of a room at all. This was before social media, but I was really good at inviting and getting people to take a look. And that was my specialty. I was not good at closing. I was not good at following up. I wasn't good at anything else, but I was really good at getting people to take a look. And that's what I focused on.
Amazing. So if people would think of, let's say, joining a network marketing company, and either to build a side business, a side, income, a side stream of income, or maybe even shifting careers, what would you say? Is it even possible to do that around family and around having another, let's say, 9 to 5 job?
100%. I would say 95+% of people do it part-time. And the way that it's set up is you actually should start out doing it part-time and you should transition. Think of it this way. Let's say that, of course you get a lot of people that are interested in the products, but let's not talk about that for a second, because if you don't have a good product, you're not going to have a legitimate business. But let's say you find 5 people that decide, whether that's in a week or 6 months, that decide that they want to do this as a business as well, because they love the products, they love the business model. And let's say they only work 5 hours a week.
Mm.
You just picked up 25 hours a week of leverage. So the reason why you can't do this because you don't think you have enough time is probably the exact reason why you should and need to do this, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And 10 years from now, you're probably going to be in the same place. I'm not trying to say that to be arrogant or rude. It's more of just tough love. Some of you maybe won't be, but most of us, I'm generalizing, will be in the same place. So because of that, I look at it and I say, why not? Why not? If they're products that you actually like, and we share things we like anyways, you go see a great movie, you tell people anyways, the difference is you just don't get paid for it. You find something that you just love. Maybe it's your new favorite protein bar. I made a post about my new favorite protein bar on social media 2 weeks ago. They're not paying me. And there's probably people that are trying it and buying it, and then they're sharing with other people that are trying it and buying it. So I look at it, you're your own boss. You get to work as much or as little as you want. You talk to people anyways every day, and you're going to join a community that can help leverage your time when you're busy, that can help you out with new people. And done right, it isn't like we all think, where we're just hard selling people and ruining friendships and relationships. I haven't ruined one friendship in 11 years because I've always approached people respectfully of, I'm looking to create a win-win. Mm-hmm. And if they don't see it as a win-win, then I don't want them doing it. I'm not trying to sell in a negative way of forcing them to do it. So I absolutely know that you can. And then it's just a process of how serious you are and how long it will take. Everyone's journey is a little bit different.
Yeah. But what would you say, what's the right way to approach people? Because I think a lot of people, when they hear network marketing, or just sales, they are all going like, okay, all the salesmen are pushy. And as you said, I don't know how to close. I don't know how to do things. So what would be the right way to approach if someone would say, let's say, decide and go tomorrow, I'm going into, let's say, part-time network marketing. How to approach people?
Become a professional asking questions, because then you're making it about them. And when you ask questions, you're going to learn what they want to learn. You can ask questions on what their favorite part about the products were, favorite part about the business, or favorite part about anything they've seen, or what are their biggest questions that they have that you can answer. Why are they interested in this? Well, I'm interested in this because I want more time. Well, why do you want more time? Because, I want to make sure that I'm able to do family vacations and take more time off. Well, why do you want to do family vacations? Well, I want to do family vacations because, I want to be there for my kids. Well, why do I want to be there for my kids? Because my parents were never there for me, and I want to create those memories. That's the most important thing for me in life. Well, great. Let's go do it. And so everything is why. There's more layers of why, right, as you go. So become really good at asking questions. And that makes it where it's way less salesy, because now you're providing value and you're giving them solutions. But too many times we jump to conclusions, giving solutions, and we give the wrong solutions because we don't really know what their questions are. So I just became really good. I'm naturally very conversational, but I'm not naturally very good at being very bold, like salesy, like you should do this right away.
Yeah,
that scared me. So I became really good at selling, but selling in a way that I created more conversations and asked more questions.
But you mentioned that in network marketing, there are mentors or sponsors. So how important is this connection between someone and, your mentor? And each company has a system to bring results. So how important is, just to follow the instructions or to have this connection, or could you do it just, on your own in a way?
Yeah. I mean, whenever you can, of course, it's like, think of it, you're going to go climb a huge mountain, let's say Mount Everest. Why would you go try to climb it your own way, your own path, when someone else has already climbed it and they can show you the path? It's still really hard to climb, but at least it's possible when someone else has done it. And that's the first thing is, so I figure someone else has done it. They found the path for you. That's actually the definition of leader. The Latin word is pathfinder. So we're helping them to find the path. The second part is don't confuse following a leader as following a leader blindly. I'll give you an example. My leader was very type A personality, very strong, very bold. And his approach was the dumbest approach I've ever heard. But he's made now over $30 million. How am I going to argue with him? But he would say to people, hey, I'm going to go out. I'm going to make a ton of money. Are you in or you're out? What's your credit card? I would never say that. So I'm following my leader, but following my leader doesn't mean I'm going to say what he said. Following the leader is I'm going to extract the principle of what he said. And the principle is the world loves boldness. It makes people curious and contagious. The principle is he created urgency. Principle is he was the bold version of him, right? Principle is he was willing to make that new invite. So I applied that with my style and my personality as I went. So don't confuse principles and techniques. Always apply the principle, right? And figure out what works best with your style or personality.
So always be authentic, right?
Be the bold, authentic version of you.
Yeah, this is what I truly, I resonate with that, in all aspects of life. But you said, just, okay, ask questions, provide value. But if someone is having a hard time just approaching people like this, conversations, how to start? You said I was really good at starting conversations, of kind of enrolling people in a way. How to really, get, beyond that, to lose this fear? Yeah.
So when you think of all fears, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of inadequacy, fear of the unknown, fear of, and we could go through all of them, fear of missing out, they all come down to one main core fear in my mind. And I call it the fear of judgment. And the fear of judgment, if you remove that fear, then you wouldn't have the fear of success. You wouldn't have the fear of failure. You wouldn't have the fear of missing out. You wouldn't have the fear of on and on and on and on. So that is important to first understand, that almost, if not all, fears stem from the fear of judgment. Almost all, right? Like the fear of heights is not going to come from the fear of judgment. You're scared you're going to die. A little bit different.
Yeah.
But almost all. So now the key is, how do you overcome that? There's different ways. One is gratitude. It's impossible to be grateful and unhappy at the same time. So that goes along with focus. Another one is you need to talk to yourself more and listen to yourself less, because naturally sometimes our brains get naturally really negative and paranoid and trying to protect you. And so sometimes you just need to have this rational conversation with yourself and just say, like, look, worst case scenario, they say no. Worst case scenario, right? They reject me and I move on. And sometimes we just need to listen to ourselves less, right? And talk to ourselves more to help us to overcome all of these fears that stem from the fear of judgment. Because it sounds silly when we talk about it out loud, but we all have it. I mean, it sounds silly. If I were to tell you, Tina, on your deathbed, you were really worried about doing network marketing because of what, people thought of you. But if you would have done it, it would have taken 3 years. It would have been really hard for you, but then you would have had more time freedom, and you could have done, changed the world and done 2 humanitarian trips a year and done 3 family trips a year, right? You'd be like, I can't believe I worried that much. I worried what people thought because of what I was wearing, or this and this and this, but it's real. So it's, how do we deal with it?
Exactly. And, if people are like me, whenever I would decide to do, let's say, on a path of network marketing, I always go all in. So I am curious. I read books. I would study people. I would buy courses. of course, but sometimes doing this or going to events, let's say, sometimes when people, like we are having mostly parents who are struggling financially and they would like to live the life of their dreams and build another kind of life they're having right now. And sometimes this financial stretch can be a burden, can be really an obstacle. Would you say that it's really important to go to events, to stretch yourselves, even if you kind of don't have the funds, and how to kind of create them, how to have a solution? So I don't have money, I want to go to an event where you are there presenting all your knowledge, I want to learn, but I don't know how to get there, how to do that. And first of all, is that important when someone is just starting out?
Some of the best stories I've ever heard are from people that felt like they couldn't afford to go to an event, but they actually made it happen. Made it happen by beg, borrow, don't steal, but beg, borrow. Right here in America, we say beg, borrow, steal. I would say beg, borrow, don't steal. Right? But get creative. I mean, a lot of times there's things that you can sell. You can borrow money from a loved one. You can create a payment plan. I'm not big on somebody going in debt, but there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. I think the best debt you can ever have is when you're investing into yourself. That's your greatest asset. And so it's interesting. It's not frowned upon if somebody has a ton of debt for starting a business. It's not frowned upon if somebody has tons of debt for going to school. But if they have debt for, traveling to an event, whether it's network marketing or not, it's like, oh, what are you doing? It's like, that's the greatest asset you can have, is investing in yourself. So I would start writing down 10 solutions on how you can figure out a way to get the money. And I will tell you that leaders are born at events. Every leader I've ever spoken to will tell you that something changed at some event they went to. And trust me, I live in America where there's a lot of hype, and I'm the opposite of hype. I'm very chill. I'm very soft-spoken. I didn't think I needed to go any events. I'm like, I don't like I'm weird. I don't like all the jumping around stuff. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need any of that. But even going, something's going to click. It's like going to a concert and trying to explain to someone how great it was. It was amazing. Okay, well, tell me about it. It was just so good. It was so cool. It was so amazing. Like, you can't do it justice. There's something you just feel that's different. And when you go to an event, you get the mind and the heart that just connect, that you just can't even describe it. It's like, going to Hawaii or somewhere. Oh, it was amazing. The sand was great. I can't do it justice. You got to be there. You got to go there. And it's the same thing with an event. So I will tell you, it's one of the most important aspects in your business is figure it out, write down 10 solutions, 10 ways that you can make it happen, and get to events.
And also, what I realized in my life is whenever you create such a stretch, this really is a stretch, and then you kind of manage to go there, manage to be there, it's just like your mindset changes. You have this people around you, this community, and all this inspiration and motivation that keeps you going and kind of, helping you to dream big. Because otherwise you just stay there. You're just, becoming your own obstacle, not moving forward. So this is also why I think it's important. It's like almost like your brain chemistry changes and your reality starts to shift because you allowed yourself to do this stretch. So this is actually my perspective of doing any kind of event. So just, invest in yourself. And this is really important, because at first it always feels like you're just kind of losing money when it comes to investing in yourself. And then it takes time that, things change, and then you get the money back, or this energy kind of back. And, it's just having trust and faith, trust in the process, I would say, right?
100%. It's one of those things. You can't afford to go, but you can't afford not to go. And I get it. Trust me, I'm not insensitive. I've been there. I've been there where, we slept at a house with 15 people and there should have only been 4 or 5, but we couldn't afford it. I've been there. I've done all of that stuff. I get it, but I just know the value of it.
And another thing, what I've noticed, what I was now studying things a bit for doing this summit, is when it comes to, maybe it's not just this connected to network marketing, but what I see is a lot of people who are in it, they are really creating this kind of curiosity posts. So I saw, because my greatest fear would be, I don't know, I'm like you, I don't know how to close. I don't know, I would do like anything for you. Like, you know, I'm all about helping people. And the hardest thing for me, being really like an entrepreneur, or, you know, having a business, is closing people. This is like, oh, it's such a, I can't even describe it. It's really, really, you know, this resistance is building. But then, is this actually helping, like just creating curiosity instead of advertising the product? And how does this help then in closing? If someone is there like me, like for me, you know, I'm afraid of closing. That's, you know, my greatest fear of doing anything like that would be, you know, how to close people. You know, I would approach in a way, but, you know, creating value, I can think of that, how to create value if I have a good product, but then how to close them. And is the way you are promoting things helping, or how do you do that? What's the secret of doing that?
Yeah, excuse me. So, you know, the biggest thing is it comes back to questions are the answers. So everything curiosity, whether it's curiosity posts or curiosity in your stories on social media, to adding them to Facebook groups where they get influenced, to sending them videos, to doing Zooms, to any of that stuff can help bridge that gap. But at some point, I actually just ask the question. I say on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being not interested at all and 10 being crazy interested, where are you at?
Mm.
And if they tell me they're at a 7 or above, that tells me that they're ready. They may not know enough, but they may not know everything, but they know enough. If they're below a 7 and they're at a 6, then in my mind, that means I need to get them more information, whether that's, you know, having someone else explain, you know, their story and do a third-party validation, just another voice, whether that's another video, whether that's another, whatever it is, it's another exposure they need to the business or products. But if they're at a scale 1 to 10, a 7, then I'm just going to ask. I'm never going to ask in an overwhelming way. I'm just going to be like, hey, it sounds like you don't know everything. You want to know more, but you know enough. How about we get your product ordered for you?
Mm-hmm.
And you can start on that. And then we get started. And then my goal is to help you to make your money back. The only thing we'll need is just this, this, and this. So I literally say it in that type of tone, because in my mind, if I'm not sure, they're not sure. And if they told me on a scale 1 to 10, they're at a 7 or above, they're saying like, I want to do this, but I'm still scared. And if I show that fear, then it also trickles to them. So I like to ask questions so that basically they're telling me when they're ready, and when they're ready, that's when I can say in a very nice, assumptive, but not overbearing way, just like I said there, let's go, let's make it happen. Let me help you out. And if they're below that, I'm not even going to try. They just told me that they're not ready. So why would I? That's when I think it gives a bad reputation to network marketing. If someone says they're 5 and they're trying to convince them, right?
Mm.
It's like the whole, a man or a woman convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So why are you trying to say, okay, well, let's sign up this, like, we're not trying to do a sales job. This is network marketing, is relationship marketing. We want to have long-term partnerships. So let's treat people the right way.
Yeah, exactly. And the final question before we go, like all this network marketing and everything seems to be all connected with online business, being present online on social media. Is this really necessary nowadays?
So I'll answer that 2 ways. It's not necessary, but it's crazy helpful. Think of it working out at the gym. You can still go work out at the gym and get in great shape. But imagine if you're going to the gym and you're getting better nutrition and you're getting the best supplements in the world, how much it will help you. You're just like, oh my goodness, this is great. So that's the analogy I would give is, I wouldn't say necessary, but I would say very, very helpful, because again, it's not necessarily that you're going to have your inbox flooded with messages and people are going to sign up, but I'm bridging the gap of likability and credibility and trust, and you get to know me. And so, Tina, maybe you watch my post for a month or so. And when I reach out to you, normally the chances of you saying yes were really low, but now maybe it's 50-50 because you're like, I like what this guy's about. I like his content. I like, some of his posts and different things. And so that's how I would say it is. It's not necessary, but it's extremely helpful. And if your goal is to build your dreams, right, and your ambitions, and you want to do that with massive leverage, this is a great way just to increase all of your goals.
Just one more. What are the biggest mistakes people are doing when starting, using social media for their work or, building their network?
Spamming everybody. They become Spamela and Pamela, where they're all they do is send a link. And people are like, what is this? What is this about? They've created no value whatsoever. And it's like, hey, Tina, check out this link to join this business. And you're like, what? I mean, I don't know you. I don't know what you're about. I don't know what anything's about. It may be great, but I have no trust with you, zero rapport. I'm not going to look. And I think that gives, it doesn't work for the individual, and it hurts the entire profession of network marketing, because then people think that's what you're supposed to do. And they're like, I never want to do that. I don't want to annoy people. So that's what I would say is people just getting on social media and shoving it down everyone's throats rather than providing value.
So provide value and build a relationship, right?
Yes.
That would be the main thing. And manage your mind.
100%.
Rob, thank you so much for doing this, for giving us this wisdom and all of these answers that I think will be helpful for a lot of people who are thinking of starting this new journey of network marketing. Really, thank you so much for being my guest.
Thanks for having me on, Tina. I hope you all found value. And don't just take this and learn it, but make sure you apply it to help you out in your business and in your lives.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following. And I'll see you again tomorrow on another interview. Bye-bye.